10 a.m.
有时候可以帮你的吗？
你好，我要汉堡 and I'm having breakfast. In the past, it used to be almost impossible to find Western food in China. But nowadays, there are all kinds of familiar favourites for foreigners like me.
This was the very first McDonald's in mainland China. On opening day in 1990, it attracted hundreds of customers who stood outside waiting in line for the doors to open. Here, you can find many of the same things that you might order at a McDonald's in Europe or America.
Do you eat at McDonald's very often?
对的。
As well as special menu items that are specific to the China market.
你在吃什么？
这是油条。
American-style fast food took off fast in Shenzhen, chiming in as it did with one of the city's reform-era slogans, "Time is money, efficiency is life." After breakfast, I met with Professor Deng Wei.
How long have you been back in China, sorry?
A little bit over a year. I spent 15 years in the United States of America.
Yeah.
I finished my PhD, did my postdoc, and got a tenure position at Virginia Tech before I returned to Shenzhen. I'm doing what I have been doing in the United States, but in terms of resources, basically everything is double.
Do you want to have a sit down? Should we take a rest?
Yeah, I'd love to.
What did your wife think about moving back to China, up in sticks?
Wow. When I first told her, she was in a deep shock.
In the early days of reform and opening up, Shenzhen was still quite poor and not a very attractive place to live.
Took some persuading.
Yes. I told her that at least you should visit Shenzhen, visit Sustec.
And then
She said she tried to find some excuse to stop me, but she couldn't find
she was
any.
sold on it once she'd visited. Yeah, but it makes sense to
Walk the walk.
If you don't experience it, then how can you know?
Right.
I have a wife too. Yeah, it's moving around.
Okay.
They're following you. Then it can be you have to do the persuading, to sell them on the ideas.
Your sell is tougher than mine, I guess, because she's not Chinese.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it makes it tougher so much because I'm not Chinese either. So
One thing for sure, China is becoming more and more internationalized.
Yes.
So pretty soon you'll feel like home.
Oh yeah. It already does. It already does. So we've reached the top.
Yes, this is the statue of Deng Xiaoping. I had great respect for him. He was the architect for the modernization of China, especially Shenzhen.
Since the government's programme of economic reforms was introduced in 1978, liberalisation has not only led to the growth of foreign fast food chains.
This is a faculty apartment.
So they've also returned from abroad?
Yeah, 90% of them, we recruit them globally from all over the world.
But an increase in academics like Deng who have returned to China after living and working abroad.
And this food that we're eating now, so this is supplied by the university.
It's subsidized. We pay about 8 renminbi yuan for the lunch and dinner, and 3 yuan for the breakfast.
Oh wow!
So it's really, it's really
affordable. Definitely.
Yes.
Why would you want to eat anywhere else?
Close to nothing.
You mentioned earlier that when you came back to China, you came with your family. Do you have any photos at all?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, they're on your phone.
Yeah.
Ah, facial recognition. Which phone is this you have?
It was made by Huawei.
Oh, Huawei.
What is your phone?
Mine's a Xiaomi. We all have Chinese-made phones.
In June, Chinese mobile phone manufacturer Oppo debuted a new flagship handset in Paris that brings 3D facial recognition technology to Android, thanks in part to a Shenzhen-based supplier.
Left.
Yeah. Raise your hand.
Should have probably not spoken or smiled. Oh, there we go, okay.
Based on this technology, we can do different things. So after 5 seconds, it will start.
Okay. It's like being in a photo booth.
So it's finished.
But it didn't hurt.
We can see how you looks like.
Wow.
And
I'm a pear then.
yes, this says it's a pair.
Is there a benefit from being in Shenzhen, do you think?
Oh, yes. In Shenzhen, we can do it very fast.
Yeah.
We only take 3 years to develop our first generation 3D sensors. That only happens in Shenzhen.
Phones aren't the only technological marvels being developed in Shenzhen.
This self-driving bus has a driver, but he's just here for safety. As you can see, the steering wheel moves all on its own. I've been told that now we're going to test the bus's automatic braking. And there we have it, the bus stops automatically. This is Huaqiang Bay, a sprawling electronics marketplace here in Shenzhen. And though the building itself may look a little old, inside some of the world's most advanced electronic products are being sold. Which one would you recommend? This phone is made by Huawei, one of the biggest smartphone manufacturers in the world.
From its humble beginnings as a maker of switches for telephone exchanges to the position it holds today as the world's largest manufacturer of telecommunications equipment, Huawei's rise, in many ways, mirrors China's own.
The first thing I'm going to have to do is download WeChat. In modern China, you're not going to get very far without this so-called super app. Almost everyone here uses it for everything, from keeping in touch to paying for their shopping.
It's no exaggeration to say that WeChat and other modern technologies like it have revolutionised the way Chinese people live their lives, spurred by the policy of reform and opening up that began 40 years ago.
WeChat was born here in Shenzhen, where its maker, internet giant Tencent, is based. Tencent has developed at such a rapid pace since its founding. What do you think is the secret to its success?
我作为一个工作了14年的老员工，当时我加入腾讯的时候只有800多人，到现在将近4万人。那腾讯的产品之所以受欢迎，是因为每一次设计都是从用户真正的需求出发。那我负责的魏村项目呢，是一个推动中国乡村来使用这个互联网。贵州黔东南州黎平县有一个离县城最偏远的小山村，村庄里坐车到县城到现在都还需要3个半小时以上的车程。然后由他们村一个放羊的姑娘来担任这个魏村的管理员。全村呢都希望能举办一场篮球赛，因为周边的村庄都举办过了，而他们村因为穷，从来就没有举办过这样的比赛。所以他当时努力的去完成这个平台上的各项任务，动员全村的村民一起通过这个平台来进行众筹然后让这个外出务工的和在家的村干部密切联系，完成了我们各项考核指标以后，他们就赢得了1万块钱的加油魏村基金，举办了这个村庄的篮球赛，让这个地方的政府非常受震动。所以镇上的领导为了方便他工作就专门还给他配备了一台笔记本电脑。在此之前呢，他每次要发布消息都需要去镇上的这个办公室用他们的办公电脑来发布。
Today, successful companies like Tencent are indicative of the progress that's been made in Shenzhen over the past 4 decades and exemplify the hard-working attitudes of the people who live there.
Shenzhen was where reform and opening up began. Over the years, it served as a proving ground for government policy and a bridge between the Chinese mainland and Hong Kong. Today, it forms a vital part of the Pearl River Delta's Greater Bay Area and is positioning itself as a science and technology innovation hub of the future.